All right, well, hello everybody. Let's get ready to get started. Going to give people just a moment so that they could plug in. We're right at 4:30 and want to share Friday. It is Friday and what we can do to give you our Midland in 30 update. We're going to try to keep it to 30. I know a lot of exciting things happen, and so let's see if we can knock out these things. And want to welcome everybody. You made it to Friday, and it seems like it's time for me to check check in with you, and close out the week strong. We started strong, we end strong. So I appreciate everything that you guys have done to get to another Friday. It just seems like we were just talking last Friday in a short bit of time, and we're now back. That's how quickly the week can go. I think there are days that seem like real long, and then before you know it, it's like, wow, it is Friday, and we're ready for kids and parents to shut it down, relax, and get ready to dive into the weekend. We are just weeks away. We are plugging along, just weeks away. We are at the beginning of May. We are already in May. I can recall the first day of school when we started. We've gotten through a lot of this noise. It is the 1st of May. It's time for us to take off. So, drum roll. Not drum major, but I'm getting as close as I can because today we are talking about graduation. And there's going to be a number of things I want you to plug into and share with your neighbor, share with your friend, share with your graduate. There are some things that you're going to get today that are going to be insightful and helpful for this work. Today, on our Class of 2020 senior page, we shared our graduation commencement information, things that we have in plan right now. We don't want to delay that. We certainly want to get that out in front so kiddos have an opportunity to start planning through their work and putting information together and knowing what they can do in regards to leading up to, if it ever comes to the time, and we definitely want it, if we get there, to have some kind of formal commencement. But in lieu of that, before we even get to that point, we want to address several things that we have that are out there. So one, our current plan does not mean it's a final plan. Our current plan is our current plan, and we've been able to pivot and adapt in a pretty rapid way. So one of the things I want you to know is it's not the final plan, but it is a plan that we want to make sure that we incorporate these things into all the other things. Like everything else in this crazy COVID world, things are changing rapidly. So just know that we're going to see some of that happen, and want to know that the plan that we have, as long as we're gathering and keeping information that's fluid and ongoing, we're able to adjust and pivot. And one of those will be a message coming from the commissioner. Just getting off a call with the commissioner with 40 other superintendents from around the state, just sharing information on what we're doing academically in a lot of other areas. And he shared back with us that he is going to have information released about graduation. What does it mean around commencement and gathering? Right now, we still have in play the ability coming from the CDC, the recommendation on a number of 10 in regards to commuting and coming together. We have what the governor has done around business and industry as he's opened up the economy to think through what capacity could look like and a percentage of that capacity for business and industry. And we'll see what that could look like as we move forward with commencement. Knowing that we could be just days away or weeks away, but I think it's more like days, and we want to be transparent with you as we are in our planning, and hopefully this allows you to start planning and thinking through what next steps could be like for you and for your family, the Riddick family as well. Our plan is based upon the feedback, and we wanted to go out there and get feedback from all of our Facebook family, our seniors, everyone who was plugged into a number of venues. We wanted to gather feedback from you for the class of 2020. We heard from nearly 400 seniors and parents about what are some ideas that they have as an approach to address what this work could look like. So here's what it is, and here's what we're looking at. Number one, the opportunity for every graduating senior to get their photo taken. One of the things that we want to do is, as a special way, is provide some type of memento that you can have in this crazy time right now, and ability for you to get in your best and get in your cap and gown, and to partner with a great business partner that stepped out, Classic Honda of Midland, and Platinum limo. And what we have is an opportunity for you to get your picture done in a $50,000 state-of-the-art photo studio. And we'll have it set up. We'll let the campuses know what they can do to design and put some things around to jazz it up for you guys. And you're able to schedule out what that could look like to go and get that photo taken and get that photo as a memento and download and get the items that you need. So we appreciate what Classic Honda has done to let us come into their premises to take this opportunity to get into their photo studio and do this with you guys. So you want to look for more information from your campus. The 2020 senior page will have some information. So plug in so that you can have what that has in regards to all the protocols that we want to put in place and the scheduling for what that looks like, or what school is scheduled when, how to get what could be up to 650 or less seniors into that moment and get that taken care of. So a lot of logistics put into to that. So plug into your school so you can know how to take advantage of what that one thing is, which is the photo opportunity. Want to let you know we're also doing a virtual graduation. We need a video, and we need a video from you, seniors. And so we want you to put a video together. We give you an example of some videos that are out there that you could do. Want you to think about something that's been important for you, that you could capture, that's classy, that speaks to you, and that you would want all others to see. And so let's be sure that you do it in a good way. And let's do it with intelligence, respectful. Let's have our values put into it. Let's make sure we're capturing all those things that you have right now in regards to moving next level in your life. And let's put that video together and let's get that up so that we can then put together a commencement that allows us to have that for you. The videos, we're going to work with our drive-in theater, Big Sky. Thank you, Big Sky. Not many communities have a drive-in theater. So we have a drive-in theater where over 3 nights, we're going to be hosting what are parent viewing parties so that you can go and see this particular graduation or this movie, which is probably the best movie ever produced that shows our students doing their pieces. And with that, you'll have an opportunity to watch that commencement go through with your family at that point in time. There'll be a night devoted for the schools. And again, on our Commencement 2020 page, you'll see more information in regards to what that looks like. But first and foremost, you got to get your video ready. You got to plug in your video. And I know. Some were saying it's 5 seconds, and some kids go, well, I've got 2 hours of stuff I want to show you. We want to make sure we can get that condensed in a way to stream an entire video for people to go and see. And we want what means something to you, and a statement that you can provide. And again, if you go to the 2020 Senior website, you'll see that there are a couple of examples that are there that you can think through how someone put together video and then their message that came in their video. So thank you for all those who have worked to put that together. And for those of you, because you can only get so many people into the drive-ins. So for those of you who cannot or do not want to go to the drive-in celebration, there'll be an opportunity for you to watch the graduation ceremony at home, on TV or online. And we want to thank our media partners who are making this possible. So more to come on that front. So that if you do not want to be at the drive-in theater, but you want to be in the comfort of your home doing the same thing with a watch party set up for you, that will be coming, and more information is to come on how that's going to be televised to come out to you. I know this plan is not making everybody happy. It is not making people in the Riddick home happy. But I will tell you, even when we do have, a traditional graduation ceremony, there are people who are not happy around a lot of factors that we have, whether it be the seating, the tickets, the place, the heat, the cooling, the date, the time of day. There are a number of factors, even when it's optimal, where it's still not optimal in regards to a scenario. So no situation is perfect. But what we want to do is we want to be able to provide you the opportunity to take care of several things. And when we're thinking about a large 6A school district, because that's who and what we are, we want to look to see that there are some things that we have to think about in regards to 650 kids trying to do something in some communities where the senior class is only 50 kids, 200 kids. So we have to think about what does it look like to incorporate the logistics behind 650 students and navigating those items. So there have been amazing and creative things that have gone on and that are out there. And I want to tell you that it is a lot harder to think about what it looks like to put 650 kids in a parade line or 650 kids outdoor in some kind of scenario that we're thinking through because of all the logistics tied to it. And I'll share more with you here in just a moment. Our community has been amazing, and I want to thank our community. You've shared quite a bit. You said quite a lot, and our businesses have stepped up, and our faith base has stepped up. And we may have a surprise that's coming here later, but we're going to work through some more elements around that before we're ready to come out with a big reveal. We got to work through some logistics to see how does it play itself for 650 students, again, using that number to navigate what that could look like. And we want to thank so many businesses and individuals who are stepping forward to help celebrate our seniors. And we've seen it where our seniors have been adopted on Facebook. So thank you, Facebook, for all the Facebook family that's out there that have stepped up to adopt a senior. I had some special people adopt my senior. So thank you for adopting my senior. Brought a special basket of great goodies that he was able to dive in, and superintendent as well dove into to celebrate that one moment. And so thank you guys for doing your creative thing to step up for your senior. If you guys have done things within your block, tied things to your tree, put signage out, thank you guys for celebrating our seniors. This is a special class in regards to what's occurring and what's happening. And I'm going to especially give a shout out to all those who have come forward to make that happen. So we know the reality is we cannot do everything. When we do just one thing, which is the formal ceremony, and now trying to do multiple things to tie a lot of activities together, it becomes a challenge. And because we know the reality is that we cannot do everything, we would like to, and we don't have, we would like to, but we know we don't have all the answers. And knowing that we don't have all the answers is okay. At least it's okay for me, because I tell my team, let's keep pushing, let's keep pushing. And even though we push this entire piece, there's going to be something that we're going to miss in finding the right answer. So, keep brainstorming, keep loving on these kids. Even as we present this, we still have another potential idea that we're working on, and we want to work through it. So for those of you guys who say, well, why not Grande? It has, 15,000 seats and 25% capacity and, 2 parents and masks and PPEs. There's still a lot of dynamics that go into what that looks like. The first thing that we have to think about is the flooring, because it's a brand new turf. And with the turf field, you got to think about the metal chairs that you would put out and what does that look like for the metal chairs. So most often what you do is you get a cover for the flooring for the stadium. And we've seen flooring that can be upwards of, $100,000, and I'm sure it's much less as well, to think about what it is to put flooring down around that. And so thinking through what that logistics looks like. And we thought about, do you stand students? You just march them in and stand, and putting kids 6 feet apart would put kids end zone to end zone in regards to what that could look like. So I know that there are some people that say, that's okay, I want to do that. It still takes a lot of other dynamic pieces to come together to make that happen. So we're still working through what that looks like, and it's still providing what could be ceremonial, but it may not be, well, it's not what it is to stand up at Grande right now in regards to that. So we were saying, well, let's get a parade going. When you think about a parade for, those smaller school districts, those 1A, 2A, 3A school systems, that may work. But even still, if it were a parade concept, I still get concerned with 650 cars, trying to stage 650 cars in a parking lot somewhere, and then driving them to a location in regards to now allowing people to shout and scream while 650 teenagers are driving. Presents some challenges around the logistics around that. So that's one. that we've thought about, and we worked through what that logistic could look like around 17 and 18-year-olds in cars, music up, friends, family, what that could look like on the roof, not on the roof. It just presents a number of challenges that come with that. So we've not moved forward with a parade. And of course, why not the traditional graduation ceremony? Just move it back, move it to August, move it to a later date. And we know that the more and more we put off the time frame of what this celebration could be like with graduation, not having it on the 22nd or the 23rd of May, that if we were to put it back a month later, the dynamic of things that could change between now and then could eliminate what we're trying to do right now. And we want to put some things in place right now and not wait, knowing that kids could leave, the dynamic could change. So what are some things that we can incorporate right now? Knowing that that's the case, I just know that you guys have some things that you want to share and put out. So let's go back. Let's jump out to our Facebook family for comments and questions. And let me see what I can step in and work to address. So I'm at the very top, which is great. Oh, you know what? We're not there yet, Tanya, on project graduation. We have thought about what that looks like, but that still means convening and gathering all of our kids overnight. And so we're trying to put in these fun activities or these activities, but I don't know if we'll be able to get to a project graduation, but love that opportunity for kids to have a place to hang out and socialize and be with each other. But that is still a large venue. And I don't know if we will be able to match up what that large venue could look like at this time because of what it means to put in the social distancing. Thank you. If you want to go to www.midlandisd.net/seniors2020, you'll be plugged into a lot of our senior information. That's what this topic is about today. Not that I won't take over topics, but this is about a senior topic. I might bring my own senior out here, and so you guys can see him and see the look that he's giving me right now. Yeah, they can open up the mall. You're right, Armando. They can open up the mall. You can walk and you can go buy a pair of shoes, a pair of jeans, and a belt. And it's 25% of the capacity. But, why can't we put all our seniors together for graduation? And again, I've explained one of the things that the governor and the commissioner have not opened up what that could look like for us to hold a graduation for a large body of students and parents to come together. So right now, putting 7,000 together in some type of arena is a challenge. Trying to put that same number together into Grande is another challenge. So we're working through that. And I know it's not going to be most optimal for most, but right now, that is not the option that we have moving forward. So business and industry still going to have a challenge around what that looks like. Restaurants still going to have a challenge for what that looks like. But yes, saying it is one thing. Putting together is going to be one other factor about some of those particular ideas. Let me keep going through. Let me see. Becca says it's about the amount of people gathered in one area, not the location. There are still provisions about how many people can be in places. Yep, you're absolutely right. We're going to hear more about graduation coming up, what the governor is thinking through, whether it's you can bring 25% of the kids into an arena. You can bring 50%. You can have this much amount of seating that you can occupy within something. We're going to get some information. And as we're driving forward, we'll see what that could look like. But right now, we have two of our bigger plans that we have that are coming through. So please, seniors and parents and neighbors and family, encourage your student, your friend, your cousin, your neighbor, your friend of a friend, to go ahead and put those things together, to get your picture taken and to look at what it might mean to put a video together. And let's get those pieces started because once again, nothing is final, but let's get those pieces started. All right. Thank you guys for stepping in, for being out there. Tanya, I'm with you. I have a proud senior mom in my house. He's worked incredibly hard. He's off to OU, which breaks my heart and makes me so excited. I'm a Texas person, and knowing that I'm going to have an OU Boomer Sooner in my family is going to be amazing. Uh-oh, he's stepping out his room right now. It's amazing. And so I'm excited for what that looks like. Here, come on over, come say hello. And so there's my senior, and I'm excited for him. So let's see what else here. Yeah, Big Sky. Shout out to Big Sky. Appreciate you guys. If you guys have not been to a drive-in theater in a long time, you should take that opportunity. It's exceptionally fun, and I love it. We had that when we were in the Dallas area. We have it here. Many communities don't have it, but it is a fun time. You know, get your popcorn together. It's not going to be your traditional drive-in. It's not going to have the concession stand open, but certainly, you know, bring your popcorn. And get ready to watch your senior on the big lights, in the big lights with the camera and on the stage. And so I want to shout out to our seniors that you guys are incredible. You guys are creative. You're going to come up with something really neat that's going to really help us. Mike has a question here. When can these kids get back to class? Mike, got to watch your language a little bit, so I'm not going to use that word. Of having my son do 3 to 4 assignments a week, proving that distance teaching doesn't work for a complete school system. Well, it is where we are, Mike. One of the things that we know is that we cannot get into school right now. The governor has what we have as school closure, so he is not getting back into school in the next 3 weeks. So he's not getting back into the building. So what you have in the home with home learning is going to be where you're at. I can sense your frustration, Mike, that your student is having a hard time, because I think you're having a hard time. What I would do is just breathe and pause for just a moment. I would step in and see where your student is, have a conversation with the teacher, if that helps, is to think about what it looks like. I will tell you the 3 to 4 assignments that are being turned in. Some people are saying there are too many in a day, there's too many in a week, and some people are saying there's not enough. Just because that's what the requirement is for your campus does not mean that you can't explore what learning could look like for your son in a very different way. And produce the challenge. If you feel like, hey, it's too easy, there are a number of ways that you can up the ante around what that could look like. And maybe it's just in time, or maybe you feel like he or she is not busy enough. And it's not about being busy, it's about the learning. And so we're going to get back to a point where we do come in, and when we do, we'll take care of all those things for you. But for right now, we are counting on what that virtual classroom could look like and how we can explore. If you go to our website, you'll find other avenues where you can do some things to help the enrichment, whether it be a virtual field trip or other learning that you might want to explore in regards to getting your student out and set. But yeah, I hear your frustration, Mike. That's why I'm glad it's Friday. Yeah, I would say, Mr. Horner is putting out there that 7 seconds. You think 5 to 10 seconds. You're thinking 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. In 5 seconds, you can, for some kids, that's plenty of time. For my daughter, who's graduated several years ago, she probably wants the 30-second time window in regards to putting a video together. So you want to think about what that looks like, right? That 5 to 10 second time frame, in order for you to not ask you to stream all of Friday Night Lights and then come in and say, 2020, class of 2020. I'm looking for just little tidbits of things that you might be able to do and put together in 10 seconds at the max. Yep, I will tell you, Jessica, thank you for putting out that. Thank you for everyone as well. I'm with you. It's one of the biggest moments in their life. You want to talk about something that's incredible. When you are 16 and you turn 16, when you think about kids who are in the secondary, and when you're in the 18 time frame, but you're graduating 17, 18 years old. Amazing 16-year-olds. I mean, we have kids who are graduating super early now. But you think about that when you graduate high school, that's a pivotal moment when you leave that 13 to 12 years behind and move into the next category of life. It's a crucial moment for a lot who decide to go to the military, go right to work, or decide to go to a 2-year or 4-year university. It's incredible for what's out there. So I shout out to our kids day in and day out, year in and year out, who get to that point. Thank you guys for addressing, I believe, right at school. We could look for our care before and after school care. I will tell you that they do a a wonderful job taking care of our kiddos. And I've been in conversations with them. And once we get back to a setting where we could have kids convene and come together, of course, they are going to be right there. Now we're thinking about what that could look like in an alternate setting and how they might be able to support what that work could look like moving forward. So we are in that conversation with them. All right. So, yep, you've heard ideas. So all these aspects for what we're looking at apply to all of our kids. So whether you're at Coleman, and this is for Daisy, she's heard ideas about Lee and Midland High, but the things I'm sharing with you apply to Lee, Midland High, Coleman, and early college. So when I'm talking about seniors, I'm talking about all those 4 categories of kids from those 4 schools. All right, let me just keep going. Oh, Boomer. Ooh, my gosh. Oh my gosh. And you people out there, I need some help. I need some support. Some from you guys. All right, let me see. Let me keep going. Yeah, Karina, you're right. We have some students who do a tremendous job by going right to the military, and some leave right after high school. So we talk about May. By the end of May, June, these kiddos are set in a way. And so the idea of what we're trying to put in a time frame is going to work for some, and it's not going to work for others. And they're going to move to the next category of life, which is defending our country, which is amazing. As a former Army officer, I certainly appreciate what that means. But there could be a possibility where it's not going to work in some schedules. Even what we're planning may not work in schedules. We will have Tracy and Pam. We will have more information that's coming up. That's not going to be today's setting. That for grading and for progress monitoring feedback. We're not doing any grading right now. We are progress monitoring to determine on track, not on track, or not on track. Excuse me, on track, not on track, or incomplete, and where a student might sit around any of those factors from when we had the student before to when we have the student now and to where they're going next. So that window is coming. We are May 1st. We still have a little bit of time to work with kiddos. So we can work to build that out. And so that will be coming on progress monitoring and informing parents. So look for the week-to-week notification and information. We have right now 3 weeks, 14 days to get to a point where we are certainly ready to begin our launch. So 14 days from Monday. All right, let me just keep going and look for some information here. Yeah, so Miranda, you're not hearing anything about grades, and you're not hearing anything about grades intentionally. And so you're hearing more about progress monitoring and feedback that we're giving to you and to your students around that, because grades are something when it's optimal, when you're in the building, that's what we look at and that's what we take. So let's talk about grades for seniors. And so seniors, get your stuff together. This is the time. This is the time to keep pulling through. And if you have got yourself aligned to walk out in regards to leave the Midland ISD door and walk into your next door of life, which could be the university, the military, career, set yourself up right and set yourself up well so that can happen. So that's by taking care of the things you need to take care of right now with your assignments. We're giving our seniors the best of the 2, which means if you take the first, second, third, 4, 6 weeks, as well as what they're incorporating right now, if what those 4 grades for your second semester do not add up to what you need, you can go in and correct that right now and get the better of the 2 and push for a grade that could launch you through that class and move you forward. If your average of those 2 is a 72, I'll give you a 75. You take care of all your business in regards to knocking out the work right now so that you can make sure that you keep yourself alive and well within the class that you're working in right now. So important you take care of your business. Important that you take care of all the things you need to take care of right now. If you need a verification of enrollment, certainly it's called the VOE. Get to our website under forms and get that taken care of. If you need a transcript, if you need something for the university, something for you to showcase why you should be headed to the next level, reach out and take care of that. Again, within forms, go online, request your transcript so we can get that taken care of for you. But it's all electronic and online. All right, let me see. What do we have here? Welcome, Tracy. Shout out from Tracy to the team. Yeah, we're doing our best around what that could look like to navigate 2 campuses that have 600 plus seniors on there, and I appreciate that, Pam, in regards to your feedback. Nothing is perfect. We do not live. There's only one thing that's perfect for me that I worship and celebrate every day, every moment of time. But I will tell you that nothing that we're creating right now is putting us in a perfect sphere, but we're making it optimal. And if you go with positive intent, if you go with the right mindset, the right idea, you can make this into something wonderful. But if you go in, I can't believe they didn't do, why are they even, if you go in with that type of attitude, nothing will work. And so what I share is go with a positive intent, go with a positive attitude, go in with, with an outlook that seems sensational, and you will get the best out of it. And I appreciate what Becca's put out, and we are. I will tell you that our district is working tremendously hard. I was in a national conversation just about what we're doing as a school system, what's occurring around the country, and we were talking about what's occurring around the world. So talking about Belgium and Germany and Israel and other places and Denmark that are meeting what this challenge looks like. We are in a mindset for entry. We are at the start of school for entry. So as we're closing out this year, our team is already thinking about what entry could look like. And if we're in, which others have shared, like the mall is open, you should be able to do something for seniors. Well, just think about when we bring 27,000 kids together and we're at this 25% type of capacity or the social distancing. Try to meet that challenge. And so we got to think about, what does it look like to put 800 kids in a building in a large elementary, or 2,000 in a building in a secondary campus, Midland High, Midland Lee? And so we have to think about, what does the adventure look like for what we've gained right now, and how do we expose kids into this 21st century learning, and who's really ready to adopt and move into it, and who needs to stay with us. So we're working around a plan and a strategy to think through that. Do you have to wear a mask when you come in? 6 feet apart in a classroom. How many kids can you put in if 10 is the number that the CDC says that coexist in a group? Do you eat lunch in a cafeteria, or do you eat lunch in your room? Do you go to PE? Do you go to recess? Do you have to clean the playground every time that kids wipe it down, every time the kids are on, with every class that comes through? I mean, it's all those things that we have to think about in driving what entry looks like. How many kids can you put on a bus? And how many people need a bus? How many seats apart do you sit? Do you have to wear a PPE while you ride the bus? I mean, all those things that we have to think about as re-entry. So you think this is a difficult part in planning or putting together what graduation could look like? Think about entry. Parents who are a little fearful of having my student return to school. I mean, all those things we have to think about around this. So we have parents who are knocking it out right now and some hitting their head against the wall about learning. Let's think about what August start could look like. And so that's where we're at. We're thinking about that right now into it. So closing out the school year, getting to summer learning, and getting to entry. It is an architect team that will come together, that will create a nerve center around thinking through how we navigate that point. And I will tell you, there is no easy answer around it. And so we're going to live through the challenge. We're going to step up to it. We're going to do our best to ensure that our kids are in the best place possible so we can knock it out. With that, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close out, because I am not seeing much more that's coming through our feedback loop. I want to thank those who have been supportive and stepping in. go out there, and even the people who have questions and who are not supportive. I still love you. You're still part of the system. We still need that feedback. But I will share that, take the information out there. Take it out with positive intent. Our team is doing the best they can with the best ideas and the best processes to create and make something happen. And even still, it is not going to keep everybody, well in accepting what that might look like. So thank you, team. This is a shout out to the team. Know that today is lunch, our child nutrition service recognition, in regards to our CNS workers who feed our kids every day. You want to have a problem? Tell these ladies and men to not show up and let kids go hungry. I guarantee we would have a problem. So these people are very important these staff members are very important to us as they build up and move on. I want to thank next week we have Teacher Appreciation Week. So if you see a teacher, you honk at them, you wave at them, you smile at them. But we have Teacher Appreciation coming in next week, first week of May. So celebrate our teachers as we drive through that. So many celebrations to go. Again, Right at School, I just shared, we'll bring more information to you for what Right at School could look like as we approach summer. Right now, there's not a summer planning for what a camp could look like for camps coming together. The governor will give us more information on what it might mean to assemble camps and the number of kids who can be in a camp. That's coming, but let's give it time for that to come around before we make some decisions on what would look next for summer camps or summer time for kids to convene and come together. So with that, let me say that's going to be it for today. I want to thank our CNS workers. I want to thank our maintenance workers. I want to thank those guys who have been out there day in and day out. I want to welcome many of those workers back on Monday as we get our start to taking care of a lot of our building needs as we get them out for closure. Teachers, get ready to come get your stuff if you haven't. Students, get ready to come get your stuff if you haven't already. Those things are in the planning for what we're doing to close down buildings and then get ramped up for what summer learning could look like. So be ready for summer learning. If you're a student and you want your students to still stay engaged, enrichment is what I call it, it'll be there. We're thinking through what a summer camp could be like for you to engage with a summer camp online in a next optimal way. And then for those students who have gaps, we need you. You cannot read. We need you. If you are struggling with your math, we need you because you'll need to be in a summer learning that allows us to really work with you closely so that we can get you ready for the start of the next school year. So be ready for our summer learning. So what I want to say is go have a great weekend. We'll see you here next week. I want to share that we're going to be coming to you once a week. We're going to come on Wednesday with our Spanish families and so presenting in Spanish and Hakachin. And then we'll come on Fridays. You'll see me or you'll see one of my invited guests that will come on Friday to come present. One of the next topics we're going to have is registration and enrollment. Do you know the difference between the two? And we're going to bring a staff member on board who can come and share what it means that every family has to do in Midland, and those who are new, what we want you to do and how you do it. So that's going to be coming in next week. So be ready for that. For you guys, keep driving, keep adding that information in. And with that, I am going to end us with our Midland in 30. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.